Welcome back, and welcome back to Role4It. I've currently got a dice over Anna's face. Let me remove that. There we go. Right, so we're welcome back. We've just managed to defeat whatever that was. Melthas had some strange visions and almost saw the other side of the veil. And we are going to continue where we left off. But firstly, does anyone want to shout out our lovely charity they're raising money for? We're currently up to 25% of today's goal for donations. We're grand total for this campaign, we're on $6,490 for charity water, which is like a whole crap ton of children and people and all kinds of stuff people saved from poor water conditions. So, anyone want to shout out that charity?
I can do it again. I'm just going to say the same thing I said before.
Okay, I'll do it then. I'll get some variety going. I haven't done it in a few episodes. Charity water, raise money entirely through donations, and it all goes to projects in the field because they actually get the operating costs and all that kind of advertising stuff they have to do and management and stuff all paid for by like wealthy businesses and wealthy donors and stuff, like, you know, your rich Californian people. Whereas the money we raise through campaigns like this, it is mostly wealthy Californians as far as I can tell. Whereas stuff like this, all the money goes like directly to projects in the field. It goes to actually digging the wells, paying people to dig the wells, paying like people to maintain the wells, stuff like that. And so it's really a very efficient way of being able to support the charity. And you never know that, like, oh, they're going to pay for people to have dinner at a 5-star hotel to get reputation. No, all your money's going to projects in the field. And when it goes to projects in the field, you can give people water who will desperately need water and will have to like walk for 8 hours a day back and forth to get water because water is incredibly heavy. It means that people don't have to waste time getting water. It means people don't have to have crappy water. Honestly, it's a massive deal for a lot of people that we are privileged enough not to have. And frankly, yes, I'm very thankful for that. But secondly, I think that, you know, we can help out. Why not? I mean, they were quoting something like $30, was it? I think it's $30 to change someone's life, in effect. That's what it would take to change one person's life in terms of water. That's less than the AAA game. And honestly, barring a couple, I honestly think AAA games are overrated, whereas changing someone's life is never overrated. There we go.
AAA games like Fallout 4?
I think it's possibly overrated from 9.5. I still think it's an 8.5 on my scale. It's good.
Okay.
It has its problems because it's got an old engine. That's mainly the issue there. It's an old engine. They need a new engine. But yeah, anyway, moving swiftly back on, you are currently in a weird underground chamber with weird runes and no sign of a body from whatever it was you just killed. Wolfslayer goes up to the bookcase.
Not even fairy fire any of that out?
The fairy fire just falls to the floor.
How long does fairy fire last for?
The entire chamber is kind of in a dim light. I believe it lasts for like a minute or 2 minutes or something, so
okay.
The entire chamber's going to have a dim light for a little while.
I would like to just light a druid cast, like a cantrip, like a small flame. Just hold it in my hand. For light.
Okay. You cast small flame, and this little dancing flame appears in your hand.
Also, just a quick question. Because fairy fire highlights anything invisible, the outline basically of any object in the room.
Yeah.
Were there any objects that were where they shouldn't be, like outlines that looked out of place?
No.
They weren't.
The only thing that was obviously definitely going invisible and out of place was the creature you just killed.
Okay.
Other than that, you're fine. Let me see. It lasts a minute. It's a concentration spell as well.
Now that we are out of combat and I have nothing more to hit, Wolfslayer just kind of like slumps to the ground exhausted. Like not even bothering to like make a pretense of not being exhausted.
Is it possible to rest?
Of exhaustion.
So you pull the sword out of the bookcase and then just slump to the ground clutching it.
Pretty much.
Okay.
But to be fair, I'm barely wounded, so.
Yeah.
Well, you know, all things considered.
I've got to say, the Skype quality on this call is going to the
really
toilet.
bad.
It has really dived for me. I don't know what's happened. But yeah, the Skype quality has really dropped through the floor. What is going on? Do we want to do a recall quickly?
We could try. Let's do that.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Can we do our best to hide the screens, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put us onto a... Sorry, guys, but we'll be quickly going to a holding screen while we fix this.
Give me just a second before you do... Okay. Cameras are all hidden, so any details on the Skype screen will be gone.
And mine too.
I have got an Elysium, an Anna.
That's better to me.
An Arumba, a Brightstone, and a myself.
Arumba's was the only one that looked bad on mine, to be honest.
You saying it looked bad?
It looks a little bit bad now, but not as bad as it did.
A little pixely,
No,
but you sound
there was an
good.
apostrophe S.
You guys all look good to me, but I was noticing it. You pretty much looked good to me before, but yeah, I could tell on the street and everything was kind of chaotically bad.
Yeah. Sounds better now.
Yeah.
Okay, all cameras are back on.
Yep, mine too.
Okay, welcome back. Okay, so we've fixed that. Right, yes, you're in the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say, what does 2 levels of fatigue do to you? Because I don't know. What
My movement's halved. It doesn't dramatically, like... Yeah. It shouldn't be an issue if we're allowed to rest now.
The doppelganger, seeing the only person that's been obviously defensive of the doppelganger, kind of slumped to the floor, moves to the edge of the room next to you, and tries to keep a distance between the rest of the group. Preferably being on the opposite side of you to the rest of the group.
Which person? Were you saying is being the only one? Because I'm not sure now.
Yeah, Wolfslayer was the only one that were like obviously.
Okay.
I'm not saying I hate him. I just really, 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 really dislike him right now.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I mean, he did fight for us. That's helpful.
Yeah,
but
no,
you know, making me believe my friend was there and then not my friend. I don't like it.
I would like to take a moment to walk up to him and apologize for my haste. Say, I'll shake your hand now. You fought well.
He sort of half takes a step back, looks at you and goes, "You the same." And holds a hand out.
There we go.
If we go in for a song of rest, if we actually
I detect magic.
Yeah?
What?
Because friendship is magic. Come on, guys.
Oh.
I was just say you don't have that spell. And with that, I would like to one of two things, depending on what you guys want to do. Either go search for my staff and our stuff, or meditate.
At this point,
I'm so tired.
I'm just kind of murmuring things, like kind of repeating just snippets of my vision, just almost at random. So there's almost no way you'd be able to piece it all together. And I simply lie down on the floor and close my eyes. I'm breathing, but I'm not moving now. I'm basically going to sleep.
All right. Seeing that apparently everyone else is just as exhausted as I am somehow, but that's okay. No, I toughen up, go and stand guard by the door. You guys, let's try and get some rest again.
Let's do.
Well, you did teleport in like halfway through our house adventure. We had already spent half our spell slots by the time you arrived.
She didn't say everybody's exhausted. No, that's me.
Okay.
Well, to be fair, Malphas is on 4 HP.
And that was that's why she didn't say it, because he's obviously bleeding out on the floor right now, and I can't.
Malphas has like split lip, swelling eye, like blood coming out of his nose, obviously holding one of his arms that's either dislocated or like slightly fractured or something. He's in a bad way.
Yeah, have some berries, dude.
Okay. Well, if we're resting, then I'm going to change my spell memorizations, but we'll worry about that if...
Go ahead.
Well, you all rest down there. You try and find somewhere to sleep for 8 hours. You pull up random bits of piles of sacks or cloth, and you manage to get, eventually, 8 hours sleep. You can sing a song of rest if you want. Tulips at the same time.
Yeah, I will. I will sing which one, because I got several. I will say, the brightest day, the darkest night, our glories scribed in ink, black. Contrast is pleasant, silence is golden, sleep is a gift to temper that fact.
What? Why do we? What does that do?
It gives us all a 1d4. Is it 1d4?
I think so.
There it is.
1d4
temporary hit
what?
points. So I'm sorry, 1d6 temporary hit points. So you got 3. Everybody gets 3 temporary hit points. So you're temporarily. Your HP goes up by 3.
How temporarily is that?
Until the next short rest.
Right.
Short
So
rest or long rest?
Short rest. But
okay.
yeah, if you lose the 3, you can't heal up past the 3.
okay. So it's basically just augmented our max HP
It's
by 3.
deflated 3 hit
Yeah.
points. Yeah.
It's just there to, if we get into combat for the next while.
With
we
a
have
long
extra-
rest, how does healing work?
You can fully heal.
Okay.
You get half your maximum hit die back. So if you'd spent any hit die, you get half of the maximum number you get
Okay.
back. So if you'd gone down from like
But I
3
fully
to
heal.
0, you'd get 1 back. Is it? It's round down, so it must be you get 1.
Okay.
Or if you get 4, you get 2 back effectively. Yeah, you.
Oh, no,
heal up.
that was to pay. Can I just ask, what time of day was that battle? Because my hellish rebuke is once per day.
Your hellish rebuke isn't. That has been errated. It is once per long rest. Ignore any
Oh.
references to once per day.
Okay.
No. So I have mine back as well, which is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
presumably
pretty good.
anything that was once per day is once per long
Fantastic.
rest now.
Yeah, unfortunately, when they changed over the system between 4 and 5, they forgot on a couple of spells.
Okay.
Um,
That's brilliant. That's
yes.
actually really, really good. Thank you very much.
There's a question, because having another tiefling in the party makes me, just role-playing wise, it makes me really, really want to speak in our native language there to him. I just wonder how the party would end up being. Can I roll a perception check? If I start just talking to Malphas in Infernal, and do a perception check or an insight check to see how the other
I
party
don't think
members
I
take
have
it.
that one.
The other party members will see it depending on their point of view and what they've had life experience of it. Like, people can roleplay it if they want. It's Infernal. So Infernal is a language used by... Basically, it's like the Black Speech in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's not Abyssal, which is like literally the language of demons, but it's a language of effectively devil worshippers.
Yeah,
I might
but
take it. I might have an issue
comfortable
with
for
that.
me.
But I might have it. I mean, I'm just saying, I might have an issue with that.
It's okay.
You would, eh? Well,
Well, you don't know that he would have an issue with it unless you'd think that, in which case you shouldn't speak. But if you want to speak in roleplay, you can.
I will flat out, in or out of roleplay, say, okay, guys, I don't care what language it is, it's not polite to
talk
like
in a
talk
language
in front of somebody in a language that not everyone speaks. So if
That happens
that's
to me
something
all the time.
that needs to be private, that's great. I'm just saying, not the most polite thing, regardless
this is true.
of language.
This is true.
You do it if you want, Tulips.
And I picked a list of what languages I spoke, and now I can't find it.
It's
Should be in here.
I mean, I remember
common,
it.
dwarf, and elfish, isn't it?
They don't need to know. No,
Oh,
that's
alright.
not it.
Alright.
I guess, honestly, as a bard and being a tiefling for as long as I've been living, I guess I would already know that most people wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like it. So
Yeah,
I will,
yeah, you would
I
know
would
that.
withhold. It's just like, it's another tiefling, right? I don't want to, okay, but anyway, it's fine. I won't say anything. Not out loud.
In which case, while you sleep, you all have pretty horrific nightmares.
Oh, good.
Dark, clamminess, the sounds of random, like, dogs chasing you endlessly through a field, blood dripping from chains on a stone. Not particularly nice.
Okay.
You don't take necessarily a point of fatigue, but it would be close to taking a point of fatigue when you wake up immediately, because
Could I say that,
really are having not a nice time.
at this point, it's not going to phase Malphas after what he's just been through, and the fact he rolled a natural 20 to pull himself back out of it.
For you, it feels somewhat closer. Actually,
all right
because of
then.
that. However, it's a case of you have horrific nightmares, and they're not necessarily horrific in their content, but you feel like the emotion that just comes from them feels very real and raw, almost like it's untempered by sort of the natural ability to just check your emotions as a human or as a half-elf or as a tiefling.
Half-elf?
No humans.
I don't meditate.
As a humanoid.
Actually, that's an interesting thing.
feel
Would a Roomba
intense
feel
sense of
that?
dread,
because he's meditating, not
confinement
sleeping.
Almost. Pardon?
Would a Roomba have that? Because he's meditating, not sleeping.
He would have that as he meditates. He'd be thrown off his
okay.
meditation. He wouldn't find it very easy to zone out. He would get these images that effectively are the same as sort of light dreams from sort of butting.
So this place sucks. I don't like it.
So yeah, you get basically fear of confinement, burning sort of hatred, vengeance almost building through you, and fear for being chased by these dogs or whatever else you see.
Hounds of hell, you cry.
You wake up.
Okay.
Fully rested.
The doppelganger
Woo!
is gone.
The doppelganger's gone.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
not
I'm
on
not-
my watch.
I check everybody over. If everybody seems to be okay, then I'm not going to worry about him. Good riddance as far as
Wasn't
I'm
Wolf
concerned.
Slayer on watch to start with? Though I guess
For 2
no
hours,
one,
and
Yeah,
then
we-
it-
no
we
one
still
worked out.
posted watch.
Yeah, no one.
Yeah. Okay.
Because she only, just as a half elf, she only has
Okay.
4
Yeah.
hours,
Wolf
and then
Slayer, make a perception check at disadvantage because technically you would be fatigued when you're doing this.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Letting them go.
Okay. So effectively, you
It
just
walks off.
deliberately turn your back.
Yeah, and as long as it's not like I'm keeping an eye on.
you watch him
nobody
leave,
gets
but you
hurt,
don't. You
like-
don't stop him
Yeah.
from leaving. Yeah,
Yeah.
She doesn't turn her back,
Okay.
and then he might be stabbing one of my friends, but what I don't see doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Good.
I'm making sure that nobody is getting stabbed and nobody is coming through the door in this direction. If somebody's going out, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a deal.
Yeah.
They held up there.
At which point, then, if you deliberately just don't interfere or whatever, or even attempt to even remotely look at him leaving, just let him go. Whatever, I don't care. He heads out, and then he pops back in, and this time he's a dwarf again, and he says, "Hey, if you look under the desk up there, there's a locked compartment. It's some sort of hidden thing. I couldn't get into it myself, but you might have a better chance."
No.
Thanks.
And then he leaves again.
Yay.
Okay.
Yay.
I said thanks.
At this point, okay, well, fine.
That's all.
Yeah.
Waking up, I kind of really struggle to sit up, and not so much from aches and pains because I've fully healed, but just from not a very rested sleep at all. Kind of, sort of more of a mental tiredness, and but fairly quickly notice that the doppelganger's not there, and ask, "Where is he?"
Actually, due to that fact, also because I'm thinking it's a doppelganger, we don't have to make a thing out of it. Role played all the way to the end of it, but I will say that I will be questioning or trying to figure out who you are to make sure that you're not a doppelganger yourself. Because I just don't trust the bastard. That's the thing. I just don't trust him at all, and any one of you could be him right
That's
now.
fine.
Okay, so effectively you spend 10 minutes questioning everyone. You have a little bit of trouble because you're not familiar with everyone that much. So effectively you ask them what happened effectively on the road here, what subjects you covered. You have trouble with Wolfslayer because she literally got jumped into this house and that's how you got introduced.
Right.
You have no way of really verifying it's her other than asking about stuff that happened in the house, which may alleviate your concern, but at any point that could have been something that the doppelganger overheard or saw or picked up on.
While he's asking these questions, I just point out how pointless it is because he didn't have any knowledge of stuff that Scarlet would have known, and yet he verified your questions before about things that happened long ago. He can probably read minds. So, what is this
There
going
is
to
a
happen?
bit of that, but although with you and Aramil, I'm pretty sure that I can designate who is who. With unfortunately with Wolfslayer right now, what I'd have to do is I'll say that I will not Bardic inspire you until, of course, you change or go frothing berserking, whatever you do, that frenzy. When you do that, then I'll be like, okay, I know you're you.
At this point, as he's showing so much
Can we
concern,
go now?
yeah, as he's showing so much concern, just because this would basically end any doubt, Malphas just gives him the daggers of future past and holds out his hand. Just cut me. Just doesn't need to be deep. At which point he'd see flashbacks of various things that
That's
would
true.
probably validate whatever he
Touch
thinks.
me with that thing and I'll kill you.
She literally out of game as well. That is literally what would happen. 1 point of damage.
So loot. There's some
Yes.
books. I don't really care about those, but you guys might. And there's that drawer, which I'll go and check
There are also
out.
corridors. There were exits from this room that weren't the door we came through.
There was 2 of them, right?
Well, I'd like to go check the front door, just to see if it's still locked.
Yeah. I mean, right now,
And then
Malphas
also
is
search
taking
for
time.
our staffs.
Okay, so Aramel pops upstairs, checks the door. Doors open quite easily.
For the most part, Malphas
searching.
isn't searching.
Okay.
He's just
That's
kind
fine.
of resting, more or less. Just he's propped himself up against the wall. He's watching the others do their thing. He's checked on Gwen. He has Gwen out. It's just making sure that she's okay. And she seems agitated, like her tail is huge and fluffy. And he's just generally more or less keeping to himself right now.
Gwen also had nightmares.
Yes. They actually do have quite vivid dreams.
Who's Gwen? What?
His ferret.
Ah, right.
Malphas gets a little albino ferret out. A small little, almost like a runt of the litter albino ferret.
It's his rat.
I like it.
I want to search the house for this
Okay.
magical items. I want to find the
So
stuff.
you're
that
going to
was-
search the top of the house. Anyone searching the basement?
I will head that way. I'll head to the basement.
Aren't
You're
we
in
in
the
the
basement.
basement?
You are in the basement already, yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, then what do I do? Like,
Just make investigation rolls. Wolfsayer, are you doing anything? Malthus?
I was gonna
you do
go
anything?
get the thing that the guy mentioned,
Okay, yeah. Malthus, you do
and then
Well,
I'll come back down and help.
How much time is passing? Because I feel that Malphas would
It'll
need a
take
little
a
bit of
while
time to
to
process what he
investigate and
saw.
properly go through the entire house and the basement. We're talking maybe a couple of hours.
But
okay.
as long as
No.
like the place opens, like the doors and the windows open,
Yeah.
that's what I'll do on the main floor, opening all the windows and all the doors,
Okay.
getting some air flowing, some sunlight,
Okay, so Wolfsayer, you can go up there and
or if
investigate
it's
the
still
top of the house
storming,
at the same time as
some
doing that.
rain, some wind, maybe a little hail. Either way,
When you go up top, you notice that it's still dark. Beginnings of what looks like the sun coming over the horizon.
Okay.
The storm is gone. Overcast is slowly lifting and turning into what appears to be a very lovely, nice, clear day with a nice bright sky. There are birds chirping, and all the doors open really easily. You can investigate the top of the house along Varamel at the same time as you can flick the shutters. We'll do the lockbox in a second. Melthus, do you want to search downstairs as well with tulips? Or...
Yeah, enough time's probably passed while people were
Yeah.
deciding where they were going for him to kind of sort his mind out, at least enough that he feels that he's ready to start functioning. So you said this room has a lot of books. He would have interest in that. He'd like to look over the tomes,
Okay.
looking for anything.
Right, so if anyone who hasn't rolled an investigation check can roll an investigation
Yep,
check now,
sure.
and then we'll go through what each person finds.
Here's my roll. It is a 18. And 18.
Okay.
Okay, here's mine.
I almost cast
Sorry.
Enhance Ability, but
14.
I only have 2 spell slots, so I was like, I don't want to waste it, you know? We just rested, finally, after so many days.
you just ignore mine.
What would? Oh, you got a 4.
I
I-
was too
Slay
busy
is
opening
so
the windows.
happy to see like sunlight again and to actually fresh air. She's just like taking in deep breaths of fresh air outside, basically almost ignoring a lot of anything around.
They should do a little dance,
We'll say,
maybe launch into song. That'd be nice. Nice Goliath sun ballad. I'm not sure.
I only know the one chant.
Oh.
Da rude day.
Okay, so you don't really find anything. Aramil, you rolled 18. Upstairs, under a desk, you managed to find a bag. This bag contains miscellaneous bottles with cork stoppers and wax seals and different colored fluids in them. You can safely assume that it is a miscellaneous bag of potions. You can make Arcana checks to try and determine the nature of the potions if you want.
Just don't smash them.
Do I recognize any of these potions as looking similar to the one that made my arm funny?
No.
Okay, then yes, I'd like to roll Arcana checks. How many potions?
There are 4 in there.
All right, so 4 Arcana.
When we're after we're done, I guess I went upstairs afterwards to open windows, and at some point I'll tell. Oh my goodness, what is that?
I'm sorry, I meant that there were 4 potions and you could roll one, but I'll take it as 4 rolls
Well-
and I'll compare each one.
I didn't maybe type it the right way, but you can still do the same thing. It's 16 plus 1, 9 plus 1, 14 plus 1.
It's okay, I'll pick it each is each. So you've got a 17, a 10, a 15, a 17, and I'll just count it for 1 potion each.
That's what I just said.
That is
Oh,
what he
okay,
said.
yes.
Literally
Sorry,
what I just said.
I meant to roll 1 test, and then I'd compare it to that, and there were 4 potions.
Oh.
We crossed.
Oh, I
crossed.
see. I
Yeah,
see.
that's
you
why
said
we
roll
crossed.
4.
Yeah, I thought you said how many are there, and I was like 4 potions. And yeah.
Yeah, because no, but before that you said if you want to roll to check the potions. I thought it was one per.
Okay.
I think
So,
we're all on the
the
same
first
page
one-
now, though, so
It's a
we can move on.
56.
We're on the same page. On the first
It's
one
56. It's really good.
is a potion of giant strength, and you think it's probably maybe hill giant. The second one you got a 10 for. It's a potion of climbing. The 15 is a potion of fire breath. And the 17 is... where am I? Potion. Is a potion of healing.
So how sure am I on the potion of hill giant strength? You said it was maybe.
You're about...
That was.
You're pretty sure that it's a potion of giant strength. You're about 50-50 sure that it's a hill giant. Maybe a bit more than that. Maybe 60-40.
Okay, so it's definitely a potion of strength, but it could be stronger than I think, or weaker than I think.
You know that there aren't any giants weaker than hill giants that are pure giants.
Or it's cursed and poisoned.
Or it's cursed.
Oh,
Don't say that. I don't want to hear that.
could be.
I'm just gonna write it down as potion of hill giant strength. We're just gonna trust in my judgment. We'll see what happens when it happens.
Okay. Downstairs, tulips. What did you roll? You rolled an 11.
Yeah, not so high, unfortunately.
Okay. You managed to find down the 2 other doors that lead off. One of them leads to a small study, and the other one leads to what appears to be almost like a solitary confinement type bit. Like it's a dungeon, effectively. Not a dungeon in that it's got hooks and chains and stuff. It is a corridor, and off the side there are lots of little rooms with barred doors that are maybe, 5 by 5 cells. With a bit of hay on the floor or whatever. In several of them you find dead creatures of the dubious kind of often evil type. Like, we're not talking like you find lovely
I
creatures
better
in there.
poke it.
You find something that looks like a chest but with a tongue like lolling out, but it's just dead and unmoving on the floor.
Right.
You find a couple of other interesting exotic creatures that look like they have probably degraded over time a fair amount. You find 20 gold pieces worth of random like jewelry and gems and stuff in the office. Just write down as 20 gold pieces because I'm not going to make you fence gems that are unimportant.
Should I do that for the
And you
small
also
figurine that
find-
I got in the last session? I got a small figurine that you told me the value was 5 gold. Silver figurine.
Yeah, just write it down as 5 gold.
Okay.
If it's something that would be plot important, I might tell you to write it down as like small figurine, and you'll be like, wait a minute. But in general, just write it down as gold. And you also find a potion of healing. I'm going to just say potion of healing because as soon as you ask anyone else to look at it, Aramil will go, that's the same as the one I've already got. So I'm just going to say it's a potion of healing straight up. Just to save all the time there.
Very good.
My chat is very sad that luggage is dead. You monster.
It's only got like 6 feet, not like...
Oh, right. Okay, it's not
Don't
luggage.
worry.
It's okay, everyone. It's not luggage. It's all right. Rincewind isn't going to cry.
Funny enough, you
One
find
potion
a
of healing.
wizard with a long robe with stars on it and a big R.
Malphas was searching down in the basement as well, I think?
Yeah.
Malthus was also searching. Malthus, you rolled a
14.
14. Okay, you managed to find 40 gold worth of bits and bobs, mostly in terms of random crystals and gems that you recognize are probably often used in magical stuff because of the purity, the ability to be used as foci or to channel stuff. As far as you can tell, these appear to be completely inert and just, raw gems and crystals. We're not talking like, that's glowing, they're going to be dodgy. As far as you can tell, they appear to be basic, bog standard. You can sell them, you'll get money. 40 gold pieces worth of random gems. And also, looking at a lot of the books, you find that a lot of them are spell books. However, as you try and actually remove tomes from the shelves, you feel a static energy, and you don't know if you really want to touch that shelf. Okay. The static energy definitely increases as you get closer. You also find down one of the passageways off of the study itself, there is actually effectively a closet type thing, and in there is a rack of staffs. There are boots at the bottom, and there are covered up bits and pieces, including some gloves. But as you go and try and approach those as well, you notice that there is a static charge, same as there was on the books.
Okay. All right. Is that everyone now? Is everyone being dealt with, and were you able to start roleplaying?
Barring the fact that you do find lying around on the ground nearby a piece of parchment, which is a spell scroll, and it is a spell scroll of invisibility.
Right. When we all gather back together, I say, the doppelganger said that there was a compartment in the desk upstairs with something in it. I couldn't find it.
He gestures to the off passage. It's the one downstairs. When he told you, he would gesture to the passage downstairs.
Oh, right, okay. The passage downstairs is with it. Okay.
Well, that explains why I couldn't find it.
Different part of the house.
Okay. I'm assuming that everyone has mentioned what they've found or what they haven't found. Is that correct? I don't want to take the trust.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What I didn't find.
Yeah.
Anything.
Okay. Well, sorry. You would have known when the desk is, so if you want to go and try and get into the desk, you can do it now.
Okay,
I
but what about like
that
our...
was in my 4 that I went and I looked
specifically
and I didn't find it.
The desk will be separate. Okay, so you go up to the desk and you look underneath and you find very carefully that you wouldn't have seen, except for the fact that you were specifically looking for it, the edges of a sort of half-translucent sort of silver outline of a drawer.
Only I don't find this because I rolled a 4.
No, you're looking for it. You know where the drawer is.
All right.
And this is specifically the desk downstairs. However, when you try and pull it open, you notice it's locked.
Well, that's not a problem.
Okay, make an athletics check.
I pull it open harder.
Make an athletics check.
I love wolves there.
Frenzy before or after? Well, probably after. Open!
Probably after.
She can't get it open the first time. She's like, why? What is open?
Wolfslayer pulls at the drawer. Just can't seem to open
I
it.
hate
The
these
handle
guys.
comes off.
Ah! Okay.
I would like to rage on the desk.
Smash the desk. Get it. Kill it.
Wolfslayer brings her sword down
I
the
am-
desk and splits it in two.
I would now like to literally try and pull the top of the desk off from the drawer.
Make an athletics check.
Wow,
And
Frenzy.
then at any point, I'm assuming that other people are going to be there while I'm doing this. So
Well, this was now a part of you searching, but you were searching down here with us, so
23.
yeah.
So everyone kind of comes over to see what the hell is going on after the sound going on in this office. Everyone has sort of met up in the main room and you just walked off. People come over and see you just pick up half of the desk in your hands like some sort of big green monster or some sort of movie franchise and literally rip it apart end to end. And gold pieces and high quality gems fall to the ground in front of you.
Oh, goody! It's like a piñata,
What a find.
Ah.
which is a thing I've heard about. They have it in the South, along with bananas.
You find
Magical South.
several different pieces. Mostly, I'm just going to go say you can count
Well, now
gold
they're in
rather than. I'm going to say they're mostly gold instead of anything else. You find what accounts to 65 gold pieces.
Wow, okay.
Ooh.
Kind of nice. Had to fight for it, but you got it.
Mm-hmm.
People in my chat, Geek Carly smashed.
I will
also see-
I will divulge the 20 gold that I had found as well. I would like to the party.
Yeah.
As you rip the desk apart and fling the unused bit of wood to the side, it knocks over a bookcase, and on top of the bookcase, something that no one had noticed really before, because it's so innocuous, falls to the ground. It is a metal tube with weird machining at one end.
Oh.
Do I recognize it
You
Jesus.
recognize it vaguely. It's not
as one of the
exactly
cursed
the same.
items?
It's not exactly the same, but it shares some similarities.
Looks close enough. I hit it.
At which point, Wolf Slayer smashes it apart with her sword.
Yeah. Just
Great,
to be
okay.
sure.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Oh, what's up?
Okay then.
Would
I want
Melfast have
to
recognized the thing that she just destroyed?
Yeah,
Okay.
it got some similarities. It doesn't really have a whole handle or
Yeah.
trigger mechanism as such. It's
Okay.
mostly just a straight tube with some like wadding wrapped at the end.
All right. Well, at this point, Malphite is gonna, seeing this happen for yet another time that the Wolfslayer just lost her mind and destroyed one of these things. He's gonna point out and say, "Look, Wolfslayer, I've got one of those, and it's
You've
mine."
been carrying a cursed item this entire time?
He's not going to start. He's going to carry on. He said, "As long as it doesn't hurt anyone, I don't want you to break it. It's mine. As your friend, I'm asking you not to smash something.
Cursed items. That's what
If
they do.
it
They
hurts
hurt
me,
people.
if it hurts me, you have my permission to destroy it. If it hurts anyone else, I'll destroy it. But outside of that eventuality, please don't break my things. As your friend, please don't."
That one.
You're talking to her while she's frenzied? Is this what this is?
Oh, I haven't
'Cause-
frenzied.
Oh, she hasn't properly frenzied.
No.
A frenzied Wolfslayer, there's no point in talking.
Desk.
No.
Yeah.
The desk. I did not need to rage to break open the desk. I wasn't that annoyed. that I
Rage
broke the
would give you
handle off.
advantage on athletics checks.
True.
Does it?
I think it gives you advantage on strength checks, isn't it?
I suppose it would, yeah.
Strength checks and strength saving throws. Yeah.
Yeah, athletics
So-
and strength checks, so you can get advantage on those if you want to rage.
Just-
you
just-
can literally rage
Yeah.
rip a desk apart if you want to in future.
Just to clarify,
It was an AWP.
Now I wish I had.
Now we can't camp
Roll,
noobs.
matey.
oh,
Okay.
that's a shame. Right, but yes, as Tulips mentioned, or Kiran, because Melfast would totally use his name. Generally,
absolutely.
when talking with him, he'll call him Kiran, but he will, point out. Well, I found this. I found a scroll of invisibility and 40 gold worth of just loose gems. Put that up to the group. As far as Malthus is concerned, that's group fun, since the whole group was involved in getting it. He will also point out, specifically to Aramil, I've also found what I suspect are our items. But before he says anything else, however, I'm not sure how to get them without possibly dying.
How's that?
As he's asked, I'll point out this, and I'll also explain. Well, this bookcase, there were a couple of tomes here that I got an interest in, but as I reach for them, it just feels wrong. It feels like there's something there, some sort of power building up, and I'm worried if I actually were to touch one, it would not be good. The same with this room, this closet. I can see them, but not good. At that point, I have an idea. It's like a closet with an open door, is that right? I've opened the door, but I just can't go in it. Yeah. Mage hand. Can I reach the things inside with my mage hand while standing back?
Okay. Does your mage hand... So you whip up your mage hand, this sort of half incorporeal hand appears in the air in front of you, and you tell it to go over and grab.
Yeah.
What do you tell it to go grab?
Can I... Are these things that I flat out recognize as ours, or they're just a collection of odds and sods?
There's a collection of odds and sods, but you do recognize your stuff amongst them. There are the boots, there are the gloves, and there's the staff.
Well, the very first thing that he would go for is the gloves.
Okay. So you grab...
Greedy bastard.
Let's see if
Does
you
the
want
mage
to go for
hand
your
have a
staff.
health bar?
Use your own mage hand, huh?
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Druid hand.
Druid hand. Aye, that sounds like innuendo.
I give it good berries, and I say,
So
"Give me
does
my
mage
stuff."
hand,
Okay.
Elvis. So does
Um,
mage hand.
Shh.
It's okay. Wolfslayer has rage hand.
Oh.
Well, a spectral floating hand appears at the point you choose within range. The hand lasts for the duration or until you dismiss it as an action. The hand vanishes if it's ever more than 30 feet away from you, or if you cast this spell again. You can use your action to control the hand. You can use the hand to manipulate an object, open an unlocked door or container, stow or retrieve an item from an open container, or pour the contents out of a vial. You can move the hand up to 30 feet each time you use it. The hand can't attack, activate magical items, or carry more than 10 pounds. It says nothing about being attacked or having any kind of anything beyond the physical form when I want it to.
Okay. So apparently the mage hand can't take damage. I would have to check with.
By all means,
someone
because
later
I
on
mean, I this is literally a wiki, so Thea is about as trustworthy as.
I will look up Mage Hand then,
Yeah,
but I'm pretty
go
sure
ahead.
that is actually the description for Mage Hand, because I remember the spell, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't say anything about a health bar. Mage Hand.
It's about as reliable as 95% of all thesis papers.
Yes. Oh man, I was working for the IBO.
No, it's fine. That's literally it.
This is-
okay, so you
Okay.
send your Mage Hand in through the static field, and as you go through where you felt that static field before, you see sparks of electricity start to ground themselves almost through the Mage Hand, but the Mage Hand doesn't seem to be affected by it. It's incorporeal. It grabs the gloves, pulls them off the rack, and as it pulls them off the rack, the entire house begins to shake.
Can it not?
Stones start falling from the ceiling.
Okay. If the moment it starts ticking, I stop drawing the stuff back. Does that abate? Does it get worse the further they are away, or
More
if I
stones
move
fall
if
from
I
the
move
ceiling.
it if I move it back towards the
Stones begin falling
We
from the ceiling.
gotta
Actual,
run.
like an entire beam breaks in the center chamber.
How
okay,
How far inside the closet or chamber or whatever is it?
and
Is
it's the
all
whole
of this
house is
stuff-
breaking right now. Is that right? The whole house
Yeah,
is breaking.
in the center chamber itself. You're currently in the office. Wolfslayer's probably with you, still going through the ends of the table. Aramel and Tulips are probably in the main chamber, looking at you guys, wondering what's going on. An entire beam back in the main chamber breaks and collapses.
Okay.
Earth starts pouring out of the roof.
Okay. Damn it! I wish I'd gone for
How
the books.
far
I have.
into whatever chamber
Oh,
this
okay.
is in. What?
Oh, you're in the office.
So I
which
don't see
is
any. of
maybe.
this,
You're
except
in the
for
office with him.
building
You're both in the office, and the closet is literally on the office, like on one of the walls.
So she can
Okay,
see
and
this
it is
happen.
just a closet. It's not a big room.
Effectively.
I could theoretically reach my arm in there, grab the stuff, and be done with it.
Yes.
But I will take damage. I will rage,
Okay.
probably as I'm sticking my arm in and taking massive amounts of damage while I grab this stuff and we book it the heck out of here.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Dex is +2.
Very nice.
20. Okay, you pass. You take half damage.
3,
Stop that. That's too many.
4,
Yeah, I guess I don't need to rage for that. There's no
5.
reason to.
Maybe he's
Okay, yeah,
rolling
you don't
D4s?
rage.
I don't think that static damage is ever a D4. 6.
In this case, it needs to be.
Now.
Oh, I
here's
have
the issue.
advantage on that.
Yeah, here's the issue, Wolfslayer.
Yeah.
To avoid damage like that, that's your quick reaction basically stopping you. You would have to press through the field to be able to grab the items. You would literally have to basically tank out the damage. So since you passed the test, I will tell you that a pretty largish lightning bolt coalesces at one of the corners and starts moving towards you in the sort of slow motion that you see it. You can choose to press on, or you can choose to take your danger sense, dodge out of the way.
Can you give me some vague sense of pretty large?
40 points of damage.
Okay, not gonna take that.
Okay. You quickly
That would
dodge backwards.
literally kill me.
Lightning bolt impacts into your foot in the ground nearby. You take 21 points of damage. and
Wow.
literally crack, flash. The ground nearby is almost like turned to glass. Bits of the table catch on fire. Your foot is charred and blackened. The house is beginning to break down.
Okay, I mean, what Malphite was going to do before
Time to
Wolfslayer
go.
tried to jump in was have the mage hand throw the items out and immediately grab the next one and just kind of, as a hand, just kind of pitch them back out. So he can do it quickly rather than going gingerly in and bringing one out each at a time.
Okay.
To go, and I start to not like
Each
I'm not
item
going to
is
drag
kind
him, and I'm not going to book without him, but I'm starting to head towards the door. I'm not
I
going
don't know
to
how
leave
close I
the room
was.
without him necessarily,
Right.
but
Okay, so Wolfslayer immediately goes to leave.
Okay.
Melthas, you're still in the room.
Okay, well, how many items have I gotten out and how much time?
You've gotten
are we
out the
talking about?
gloves.
Okay.
You would have to get out the staff and the boots and any other items you wanted to pick up. If you can choose to stay there if you want a little bit longer.
And
you can-
the place is crumbling around us, is it?
yeah, like an entire beam collapsed in the center chamber literally 2 seconds ago. Large. I mean, we're talking big stones, like.
Yeah, the house is
Yeah,
literally falling apart. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
It was hard enough to do. I'll just grab the gloves. I'll say,
Grab the
I'm
gloves
sorry,
and-
Aramil, as I'm just running.
Okay, you leg it out down the main passage to Aramil and Tulips, who are just standing there, who are like, what the fuck just happened with this massive beam just collapsed behind them.
Yeah.
Do you all start booking it right out?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean we've got all the loot that
We could get, yeah.
in which case you have to book it quickly out of that main chamber to the bottom of the ladder.
Okay.
And I would like you to make either acrobatics checks to avoid falling bits of masonry or athletics checks to just dead out sprint it. You can choose.
Going up, I will use acrobatics.
Yeah. Me as well.
what is it? Acrobatics or athletics?
You can choose, yeah.
Come on, acrobatics. Athletics is not my strong suit. Oh, Jesus.
16.
16, 12, 16. Okay, so you all managed to rush to the bottom of the of the ladder. However, Aramil gets caught by a falling cobblestone and takes 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Really? Wow. With a 16.
Oh, sorry, not
That was
Aramil, sorry,
me. That was me
Malthus.
with a 10.
Sorry, Malthus.
I was
sorry,
going to say,
thinking of one.
then loads of
Yeah.
us should have taken damage.
Malthus, as you stayed a little bit longer,
Yeah.
you end up getting caught by a cobblestone, which impacts onto your shoulder, knocking you down.
Okay.
But
How
you manage
much?
to scramble up and get away. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I should turn the music down a little bit more. It's a little more outside.
What were the names of the gloves again? Gloves of...
Gloves of missile snaring.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
Okay,
Those are really nice.
now you get to the bottom of the ladder. You all try and quickly scramble up it. I will need you to tell me the order in which you're going up it, because if the person at the front is slow, that's everyone else slow.
Realistically, I believe we're all basically the same speed. I'll say that I go last because I left the room last, so it makes sense that I'd be behind the rest of the group.
Okay. Cool.
I'll probably be doing acrobatic checks to like skip rungs. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Sure, it'll be a harder DC, but if you manage to succeed on the DC, you'll go slightly faster.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll assume that since Wolfslayer and Aramil...
I'll go first.
Okay, so Wolfslayer goes up, Aramil goes up, Tulip goes up, Malthus goes up. Go roll athletics, or you can choose to roll acrobatics, but it will be a harder test because trying to jump between rungs on a slippy rung in a
I'm
falling down
annoyed.
house is harder.
I'm really annoyed. I'm gonna rage. The rage that I didn't do earlier, I'm gonna rage. Because that gives me advantage in this roll that I probably don't need it in.
As Wolfslayer is running to quickly grab onto the rungs, she screams out, "Grrr!" Angry, and yep, that is a 22. Master of Tulips got a 6.
I'm gonna go with.
Aramil?
I'm gonna go with. Oh well, I'm last, so I'll wait for Aramil first, anyway.
That was me trying to skip rungs too.
12 on Aramil.
Right, I'm gonna use acrobatics because even with a harder DC, I doubt it's going to be worse than my horrible strength modifier, considering I'm not proficient at all with athletics. It's not much better.